right, in this section, we're going to create the player's script. We're going to start off creating a new script and attaching it to the player. We're then going to add the ability for the player to move left, right, and jump. We're also going to connect the area 2D for when they win or lose the game. Now let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's go ahead and get started creating the player script. So let's go ahead, select our player node. Let's go ahead, add a new script. Make sure we're saving it in the correct location. Go ahead, open that up, and hit create. All right, so we're going to start off with a couple variables. We're going to start off simply with an @export. This is going to be a variable for our current speed. And we're going to go ahead and make this a float and simply set the default value to 250.0. All right, awesome. Next up, we're going to go ahead and create another @export variable. We're going to call it jump_velocity. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead and make it a type float. Simply equal it to -600.0. Perfect. All right. We're also going to need the gravity, so let's create a variable called gravity. And we're going to go ahead and make this a type float. And we're simply going to equal this to our project settings dot get setting. And we're going to get our gravity. So I'm going to type in gravity. If that doesn't pop up, make sure to put double quotes. Type in default. And we should see default gravity somewhere. Oopsie. Has a hard time coming up if I remember. Yep. Where the heck is that? Let's go ahead and try finding it another way. Let's do physics. There we go. See, default gravity. It's under physics 2D. Perfect. All right. Now let's go ahead and create a couple onReadies. So let's go ahead @onReady. And we're going to go ahead create a variable sprite. It's going to be a type of sprite 2D. And we're going to go ahead and simply just equal this to our current sprite 2D on the player, just right over here. Let's take that. Perfect. We're going to create another @onReady variable. We're going to call this anim_player. And we're simply going to make this a type animation. Let's just do like animation player. There we go. Perfect. And we're going to go ahead equal it to our current animation player in the node. Awesome. All right, perfect. So those are our variables we're going to use. Now we're going to go ahead and create the actual movement. So let's go ahead, start with function_physics process. Okay, so this is where the actual functions of moving around are going to happen. So first thing we need to do though is we need to make sure that the game is on. So let's go ahead, take our platform game here. Let's go ahead, do a .GameStarted and make sure it equals true. Don't forget to put your if at the beginning. Perfect. All right, so if it's true, then what we're going to do is first find whether or not we're in the air. So we're going to say if not underscore, or just go ahead and just say if not is underscore on the floor. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead, simply set our velocity.y plus equals our gravity times delta. Perfect. All right, we're also going to go ahead, we're going to do an if input dot is action just pressed, and we're going to look for the space bar because that's our jump button. Perfect. We're also going to say is underscore on floor because we got to make sure we are actually on the floor if we want to jump. Perfect. And if that's the case, then we'll simply set our velocity dot y equal to our set jump velocity. Perfect. All right, so that'll handle our actual jumping. Then we're going to go ahead, get the input direction for our other movement. So we'll do variable input underscore direction. And we're simply going to equal that to capital I input dot get axis. And within there, we're going to go ahead. We're looking for move left and move right. So go ahead, move left, and then comma, double quotes, move right. Perfect. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and set our velocity for x now. So velocity.x equals our input direction times speed. Perfect. All right. Then we need to go ahead and call two functions. The first function we're going to call is one we're going to make. That's going to update our animation. So we'll do update underscore animation, because that's going to change for each one we use. And then last but not least, we also need to run our move and slide. Perfect. All right, let's create that update animation real quick. Let's go ahead. We're going to do another function right below. Paste that name in. All right. So for this, what we're going to do is the first one we can do is, of course, the is not on floor, because then we can play the in air one. So we'll say if not is underscore on underscore floor. Then we'll simply go ahead and we're going to make this a type of if anim player dot, let's say, current animation does not equal double quotes in air. All right, if that's not the case, then we're going to go ahead, give it a colon. We're going to say anim player dot play, and then just do in air. Perfect. Awesome. All right. But of course, if we're not in the air, we're going to have an else. Make sure this is all backed up to here. Else. Then we're going to say if our velocity dot x does not equal 0, then we're going to go ahead. We're going to say if anim player dot current animation does not equal double quotes walking. And then of course we're going to go ahead within it. We're going to set the correct animation, which is going to be anim player dot play, and then just simply add walking in there. Perfect. Awesome. All right, let's add some enters so we can see things a little better. There we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to add enter here, backspace. We'll add a sprite dot flip h, because we want to flip side to side depending on which direction we're moving. We're going to equal this one simply to our velocity dot x, and then we'll do less than 0. Perfect. All right, that looks good there. Now we need to go ahead and have one specifically for the else of everything, which is going to be like basically for an idle position. So we don't have any movement or we're not in the air, then we want to play our idle position. So again, that's going to go ahead. Let's do that right after our else of the first if, so right over here. Perfect. So we'll do else, and then we're going to go ahead. We're going to say if anim player dot current animation, and we're going to say, of course, if that does not equal double quotes idle, then we're going to go ahead. We're going to do anim player dot play, and then of course just idle. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so that's going to handle all of our animations. Okay, we got our in air one, our walking one. We're also flipping them for left and right movement, and then of course we're going to play the idle one as well. So let's go ahead, let's save that. Let's continue on. Let's go ahead, grab our Area 2D. Let's go to Node. Let's go ahead and we're going to connect the area. So let's go right here, Area 2D. Make sure you're connecting it to the correct script. Perfect. Let's go ahead, back these up here. And what we're going to do now is look for the spike and the win. So they're both really going to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and do if. We'll say area dot is underscore in underscore group. And we're going to go ahead, give it a set parentheses. We're going to look for spike, okay? But of course, we can also do the other one as well. So we could do an or here, and we could also look for the win one. So let's go ahead, put that here as well, change that to win. And then we'll go ahead, simply contact the main node script, which is right up here. Drag and drop it in and do dot game over. Perfect. And there we go. Awesome. Let's go ahead and save everything we got. Let's go back to 2D view. All right. Let's go ahead and turn back on the start screen. And looking good.